Probably be helpful if I got the release date before. Just saying. All right. Hey there, Cheese Meisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod. This is Jeff, and I'm here at my new beach house, and you're not. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my host.
I'm Leslie, and I've been told I'm a real good closer.
Ah. Oh, that would have been Are You Sexin' Me by the West End Girls. That was what was playing at the end of the episode when everybody comes in for the 1 a.m. pizza party at the beach apartment after David and Donna finish setting up his home theater setup.
That was at 1 a.m. still?
Yeah.
Oh my God, these kids.
No, we'll talk about it later, but that is the most college thing that happened in this whole episode. Just a bunch of randos showing up at 1 a.m. to eat pizza while you're listening to music too loud is super college.
It's true.
This week, Cheese Meisters, we are talking about season 4. What? Episode 2, The Girl from New York City. Original air date September 15th, 1993. You know, there was a girl from New York City who called herself the Human Trampoline. And sometimes when I'm falling, flying, and tumbling in turmoil, I think, whoa, so this is what she means. She means we're bouncing into Graceland.
Oh, I thought it was a horrible innuendo.
Nope, those Paul Simon lyrics.
Oh,
Yep, it's a good song. Okay, did you throw up in your mouth or throw something this episode?
borderline.
Yeah. Was it the forceful insertion of a rape storyline that got you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
That and David being like, I don't know what I did in life or in a past life to deserve this. Fuck you. Just I guess dump her and go find some tail. I don't know. You act like things are happening to you
Mm-hmm.
and they're not.
David is oppressed. Do you not know this? There's nothing more oppressed than a former high school DJ. Look, this kid, I feel like I need to remind you about this. This kid almost stopped gang violence and racism for the whole fucking world. If it wouldn't have been for Sanders' management group not getting him on later in the Battle of the Bands, and that's why he lost to Diesel Stone in the Waste Management. And we could be living in some kind of racially peaceful utopia right now. But instead, David can't get laid in his own house. He can't even tell
No.
people he lives there. So, I mean, it's rough for David. All right, so let's see what happens in this episode. So, where to even start with this? All right, Brenda is not adjusting. It's raining in Minnesota, which is like the worst thing that could happen to somebody. It's like rain in I don't know, early September is. Tell me what you think is worse: rain in early September or being adopted, because they both seem like maybe the worst thing that could happen to somebody. I mean,
Probably rain in September because I love fall. It's the
mm-hmm.
last bit of warmth. The colors are
Yeah.
lovely. The flavors are amazing. I want to be out living my most basic bitch life in peace. And the rain does get in the way of that sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough. All right. So Brenda, correctly mopey, is hello muttering and hello foddering in
Oh my
her
God.
writing
Yes.
her Camp Granada notes home. And Darla is adjusting well to college life. She has friends. She's going out and doing stuff. She's like
Doing
just
Dylan.
fucking Dylan left and right, upside down. Like, she's doing all of it in
She
Brenda's room.
she brought a curtain tassel from mom.
Yeah. So how about that? That is. Uh, did you ever have a dorm room roommate?
I did.
Okay. Did you have to have a signal?
We should have because there was one time where I did not like I noticed I couldn't unlock the door. We had two locks.
Sure, the bolt and then the
Exactly. So I came back one night with friends and like tried to open it and then we heard scuffling and we all ran.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, well,
Yeah.
that's it. But
Yeah.
the second semester roommate, I did tell her one time, like, hey, a guy's coming to visit, and there's going to be a lot of smooching. So can you wait a few hours?
Good deal. I just my only quibble with Darla's setup here is, and maybe it's not a quibble, but the forethought to bring the shower tassel to college with her. Because most people I knew, it was like, like this is probably a thing. Yeah, you would hang something on the doorknob, a sock or I don't know, whatever the fuck.
Frenchie.
Yeah, I mean, well, we didn't have scrunchies. We were dudes with short hair, but um, also like, and this is, I don't think this is a thing anymore because people have cell phones and whatnot. But when I was in college, and I'm assuming when you were in college, even though there's a gap, did you guys have the whiteboards on your door where people just come and write random shit to you?
Yeah, but it got destroyed by some mean dudes.
Nah, boo. But sometimes we would like use the whiteboard as like you put a little dot on the whiteboard or something, like something a little more
Oh.
subtle than fucking tassels and on pasties or whatever she's hanging on the door there. Um,
I was gonna
and
say,
it
is Darla gonna be in burlesque in her
that'd
future?
be, I'd like it. She's halfway there. She's got a gimmick. It's called high waisted Midwest. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but Darla, or no drawers at all. When Brenda interrupts and she's just got the button down shirt on, covering her hoo ha.
Her
Um,
bits.
by the way, button down shirt, no pants, no notes.
No notes. I would wear
Nope.
that as a dress.
100% approval rating on button down shirt, no pants. It's just, it's always going to work. Um, but Brenda just, she can't get in the room because Darla just straight fucking all day long, and I don't
You know
blame
what
Darla.
she's
Get some.
studying?
Uh huh. Cock. Um, she's up to like cock 301 at this point. It's not even. She's like, she jumped, tested out of the 100 level courses. I think Darla is getting it. And Brenda is not. Brenda is not engaging in the college life. And she's, I don't know, she blames the weather, she blames homesickness, she blames Darla's insatiable cooch, like all of it. Brenda is just, Brenda refuses to become a gopher. I think for me is what it boils down to. She's just not, she's not willing to do it.
Yeah.
And she's by the end of the episode, she's like, I proved to myself that I'm going back home. I don't.
But you didn't. And we'll get to that, and or at least I'll add more to that and what else or what this
Yeah,
episode's really about. Because I have thoughts.
yeah, I do too.
Here's a
So,
well,
oh, go
here's my
ahead.
first question, and I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I don't think we've fully gone through the synopsis, but that's this episode. Um, why is Minnesota already in class, but Cal Uni's not?
I, I mean, that's a really good question. Um, are they in class? Did they talk about going to class? Maybe they did.
They're Brenda's acting like she's already in class.
She is. You're right.
And the fact that they're all kind of, I mean, they're wearing, and maybe I just don't know what 90s going out college wardrobe looks like, but it ain't what they were wearing.
I don't
Like,
remember what they were wearing. The only thing I remember was Brenda's super cool jacket.
Darla stays in the same Ralph Lauren. They did the least with her wardrobe. I felt so bad. Like,
Yeah.
she's so cute, but they said,
Mhm.
who cares what we put her in? Like, oh, just get a belt. Those pants aren't going to fit. We don't have anything for this teeny tiny person. She's not going to be here next week or ever again. So just, I
Right.
don't know. Can you bring something from your wardrobe? Great. We
Yeah.
have the money, but we don't care about you. Um,
Apparently, that's a thing that happened quite a bit on 90210 was like guest stars wearing their own clothes, especially in the
I'm
early years.
I'm not surprised. I've had to bring my own stuff
Sure.
for background, which makes sense. Um, but it's still a hassle.
Right. But if it was a tassel, you could hang it on the door.
I guarantee you the only money they spent on Darla was that tassel.
I don't know. I feel like they might have just taken that out of like one of the dressing rooms. Like, has anybody got tassel? Someone can tie on the door. Shannon, anybody?
Go find one of Scarlett O'Hara's curtains and just rip that baby right off. They're not
That's
using
right.
it.
No, we don't need it. Um. So yeah, I don't know if they're in class. Like maybe they're in trimesters or something. Um.
Oh, okay.
There's no indication ever that CU is on trimesters. Uh. But maybe. But and if Minnesota's on trimesters, they'd be starting later. I think. I
Well, and
can't
I also
remember.
just realized too, because I know Brenda's there early, and she mentioned,
Right.
all of the theater classes were closed off to me.
Oh, she was just doing
So,
registration. Yeah.
okay, I guess then, well, then, okay, she's there too early. This is silly. No wonder she's upset.
Right. Nothing to do. Yeah. It's better if you're busy.
I mean,
But
they have plenty to do that welcome week. It's welcome week for a reason. But then again, they had welcome week when I started. I don't know if they had it for you. You
they
find
got to
stuff
have
to
some kind
do.
of welcome. But I mean,
Yes.
if they've been there for 2 weeks, 2 weeks feels a little long. Um, like my freshman year, I got there 3 weeks early, but that's because I was playing soccer.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's a fall sport, and we had conditioning and all of that stuff. But that sucked because like there was nobody else around. It was pretty sparse. You know, so not as much to do, not as many people to connect with. So I get the like not being able to feel there that you're there, but like I don't know. We'll get to it, but I don't think
Sure.
Brenda tries very hard.
No, she
Um,
doesn't.
all right, what else is going on in this episode is that Steve and Brandon and Celeste and Jill are still hanging out at Jill's dad's house. And Steve and Brandon have just decided that it's dick measuring week on the beach. And they're just, I mean, I don't know. Uh-huh. Neither one of them is capable of taking out just enough to win. Like there's no way that that's happening here. Um, they are crazy aggro with each other on the tennis court. Um,
Getting that juice again.
yeah, no shit. Steve is really acting like he's on something, but so is Brandon.
Yeah.
Um, everything's a competition between the two of these fools this week, and Jill and Celeste are both just fucking over it. Um, and they don't need backstories to be over it. Jill gets a backstory. Um, Dylan shows up. He's back. Stops in to visit. Goes to the Peach Pit. Catches up with Andrea. Learns about, I mean, the exposition dump about all the things that we missed last week. And but he has some peach pie. No, Nat does not offer him any honey pie, which I think he should have. Um, if you want this thing to stay on the menu, Nat, you got to start selling it.
It it would have fit in well with what I think one of the things I think this episode is about, but continue.
Okay. Um, so Andrea finds out he's not going to Berkeley. He finds out she's not going to Yale. Kelly, just by the powers of observation in the parking lot, finds out that Dylan is back. And then she gives plot exposition to Donna, telling her about how Dylan got all fucking moody in France in this small little village, and in this one room, basically the set they built, and it starts like he's all pissy, and so she goes to Paris without him, and when she comes back, he's like holding hands and making googly eyes at Brigitte or whatever her name is, this French lady. Um, and Kelly gets all pissy about that, and she should because Dylan's being a douche. And she's like, he cheated on me, so fuck him. And Donna's like, I can't believe he cheated on you. Oh my word. And then we find out that Kelly also might have cheated on Dylan with Gaston, the barman. Um, every last inch of him's covered with hair, as far as we can tell. And which is something that we know. I love it. that Jenny likes IRL, because she won't stop talking about Jim Walsh's crispy chest hair.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
don't knock it till you try it.
that's right. I have a story about that, but I'm not going to tell
Oh
it.
my.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell it. There was a teacher that I had in high school, and this did not happen in my class. It happened in a class that she taught that was the class of 93.
Hmm.
And I won't say what class, I won't say what teacher, I won't say anything else, except for that somehow in this English class, the topic of anal sex came up, as I'm told, and and somebody was, um, no pun intended, poo pooing the idea, and and she said, as I'm told, quote unquote, "Hey, don't knock it till you've tried it." To a classroom full of high school
Oh
juniors.
my God.
Seems like maybe not the thing to say, but bravo, um, to this teacher from 35 years ago, just laying it out there for the kids. Um, yep. So don't knock it till you try it is what we're saying apparently.
I
Uh,
ah.
eh, I'm just saying
I'm making the faces at a teacher saying that in class, but
it's a little rough.
she's not the first and she won't be the last to say something you shouldn't to kids.
That's fair. Um, I mean, kids could be listening to this, and I just said don't knock it till you try it. So
That's different. They're not in
whatever.
school, and you're not their
You don't
teacher.
you don't know where these kids are listening to the Peach Pod. They could be in the back of science class, not paying a damn bit of attention.
Hey, pay
Hey,
attention,
kids.
please.
Yeah, eyes on the board. Jesus.
Whatever
Kids
the board
today.
is now. Yeah. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong with these kids today.
I do. I'm just not telling. So, I don't know how we got on Don't Knock It Till You Try It, but we did. Um,
Hair.
what was it?
Hair on Gaston.
Oh, Gaston's crispy chest hair. Right. Um, and so Kelly and Dylan broke up in France and she flew home, and then now we know all their backstory and we know what happened while they were gone. And at the end, she goes to visit him and they smooch some more and everything's okay, I suppose. And then the other thing that's going on in this episode is David and Kelly and Donna are moving into the beach apartment. Thoughts on the beach apartment now that you've seen it?
Looks cool. Definitely needs some artwork or some paint. But they
It'll get
just
some.
moved in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
Yep.
the hell happened to that fridge, that it's the only thing messy. But yeah,
Uh,
looks pretty cool.
yep. It's still there. Looks exactly the same. Um, although did it look gray in this episode or did it look blue? The exterior,
The exterior, I don't remember.
because it's blue, but I felt like it looked a little grayish in this episode. So maybe it's a paint job at some point, but
Hmm.
um, I don't know. Anyway, beach apartment. Whoop. And but they just can't get rid of Felice. She just won't move to Houston fast enough. Um, she just keeps coming by and taking people out to dinner, coming home at 1 a.m. after just eating. She needs to poop. And they don't have toilet paper. They do, but David's currently holding it in the shower. So um, I would have liked for her to gone in and pooped and like looked for the toilet paper, and for him to just hold it out the curtain, and so she has to reach up for it, and she's like, what?
That would have been
After
great.
yeah, that would have been fun. But David is not busted yet. Presumably, he'll be busted at some point. And then everybody comes over for 1 a.m. pizza and sausage and mushrooms. Yummy.
Yum.
And everybody's having a good time. Oh, and Jill got raped. And that's why she was upset that Brandon was super aggro and just wanted to feel safe in his loving arms and didn't want to have sex with him. And Brandon's a good guy, so he didn't push. And he just held her all night long, presumably with a big boner in her back.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think you like I understand this is another step and this is this would be comforting and help you on your healing process. But honey, you're going to feel something at some point, and it may or may not be a trigger.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, Brandon had a boner all night long, guys. There's just no way around it.
No.
And I don't believe for a second that Brandon slept at all. I think Brandon was awake the entire night, really distracted, super fucking horny, and just trying to like put it out of his head. Like just forget, just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Can't go to sleep. Go to sleep. It's just the whole night. Um, Not at all speaking from experience.
It's so hard to be a nice guy.
It's it's hard to be horny. It's what it is. It's hard to be horny sleeping next to a hot woman. It's
Sure.
just difficult. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing in the world, because that's down there. What? What? Um, but I'm saying it is. That is not a good night's sleep, you guys. Brandon didn't sleep. Um, and so, as much shit as we like to give Brandon, props for making it through that night. Just
Props for
surviving it.
being mostly understanding. He only
Mm-hmm.
said one thing that I took issue with. I think just one thing. Um, but I'll chalk it up to ignorance and naivete.
Well, sure, he's 18. You can't get all of it right. You're bound to
Of
say some
course.
dumb shit.
And like, of course, we all, for different reasons, at one point say, well, I'm not that way. It's not about you. But
Right.
okay, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get laid, but
Mm-hmm.
at least thankfully you're not going to push it. And thankfully too, he didn't push her to keep going with the story.
Yeah. Yeah. We get it.
But as I posited to you to discuss on here, why the rape backstory? Why do we need this?
That's a good question. Okay, so let's talk about what this episode's really about. Um, and let's start with that. Um, Here's one thing I think that could explain why you have the rape backstory. And I'm not saying this is a great explanation for it,
Yeah,
but it's certainly a thing that is relevant moving forward and not spoilery just because of
sure.
life. Um, New people had lives before they met you.
Mm.
So when you meet somebody, which everybody in the show is going to be doing because they're going to a new school and new people and all of this stuff, um, you're meeting them at a point in their lives and a point in yours. And most people, not Celeste, apparently, have things that have happened to them in their past that you
Yeah.
find out about. And those things influence the person that you are meeting and dealing with right now.
Hmm.
And that is very much true for Brandon and Jill in this moment. She is not interested in the macho bullshit back and forth between Steve and Brandon. And it could have just been that is unpleasant to be around. Like
Yeah.
like Celeste didn't like it either, and as far as we know, she wasn't raped 6 weeks ago. Um, but they gave Jill like a reason why she didn't like it, and I don't. It didn't need to happen. But everybody has pasts,
Yeah.
and that past informs the way they react to you, and you don't get to know those things until they tell you. So, like, you can go stubbing your toe all day long, which is a little bit of what Brandon was doing there. Um, and you see the same thing with Brenda and Darla and all of the people there. Like they all have different experiences they're bringing to this new University of Minnesota situation, and none of them are super great at being open to the past experiences of the people around them.
Yeah.
Um, so and even people have past experiences that you're not aware of, which they need to tell you about in flashback form. Otherwise, how are you going to know why Kelly doesn't want to go in and say hi to Dylan? So, not everything's about you. And when you meet new people, you have to leave room for the fact that they exist outside of you.
And
Maybe
something I,
that's why she gets a rape story.
yeah. And, I want to preface with I'm aware this shit happens in real life. Duh. Um,
Right.
but I'm also all too aware of how often this is used as a plot point and it's overused. It's lazy because what it suggests is that only women who have been abused can have a reason for carrying around mace or being on edge around guys.
Yeah.
Um, and like that's not true. Like we're this kind of goes into what one thing I thought this episode was about, um, which is that I heard this from Michelle Obama, but we love our boys and we raise our girls. You know,
Mm.
girls are are taught to protect them, or not really taught to protect themselves, but they're told, don't do this, don't wear this, don't get yourself in this situation, carry mace.
Mm-hmm.
And boys, it's just you can never do anything wrong. You're you're great. Just keep living your life. Boys will be boys.
Right.
Um, and
It was
it's
just guy stuff, Jill.
it's just locker room talk.
Uh huh.
So yeah, and and like another way that we need to show, remember, Brandon is a good guy. He saves women. He makes them feel safe again. He makes them feel like they can be intimate again. Sometimes it takes a lot longer, or it takes more than one incident to, because it's not just going to go away. This fear of, or the triggers aren't just going to go away. They're going to be
And
like waves. Sometimes you're
and
going to be
neither is
able to,
this.
yeah, like
That ain't
sometimes,
going away either, Brandon. You got to figure that out.
oh my God, do push ups, keep playing
I
tennis.
think that.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could go, I don't think I need to go into more reasons why it's not necessary. Like it's
Yeah.
just it doesn't really serve the story, and it again, it puts this mindset out there that you will only be taken seriously for your mannerisms if you have some horrible thing that happened to you.
Right.
But it needs to
It's
be
more than
horrible in my
enough.
eyes.
Yeah. It's more than enough that he's walking around with a toaster in your wrecked out house. Like
Yes.
that's plenty. Like you don't need any more than that. And
It's
then it's
more
more
than
than enough. Go ahead.
enough that he's a stranger.
Right. Yeah. And then once you get to know him, it's more than enough that he and Steve, who you've known your whole life, and if you knew Steve at 13, you have to know he's a douchebag. There's
Yeah.
no way that he just became an asshole when we met him in high school, first junior year. Um, he was like this at 13. And then to watch them not like just rock'em sock'em robots on the tennis court and playing gin rummy and racing to the beach. I mean, it's enough with it already. Like I don't need her to have suffered trauma for her to not be interested in this
Exactly.
dynamic.
And like also worth noting, the boys are having the most fun this episode. The girls are all doing domestic shit.
Yeah.
Girls are all being responsible and trying to move forward or grow up, and the boys are just like, hey, I don't have to grow up. I can party. I don't have to clean anything. We can be aggro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's one of the things I think this episode is really about, which is guys just doing stuff without paying any attention to the women around them.
Yep.
Like Dylan is like Mopathon in Paris or outside of Paris, small little village. Um, not paying any attention to how his just shit mood is ruining the trip for Kelly.
Yeah.
And then when she comes back, not paying any attention to the fact that Brigitte here and the whole not speaking English and making fun of Kelly in front of her. Like he's just not. I'm not sure that Dylan is trying to be hurtful, but he's just not paying. He doesn't care. He's not paying
No.
any attention. And then Brandon and Steve, the whole back and forth, and like forcing these two women to play more tennis than they want to play. Um, Doubles so that Steve and then Steve wailing on Jill. I'm just asshole. Um, they're just pushing and pushing and pushing. And then David at the end, like, bedtime, gonna go sleep in Donna's room.
The nerve.
Where did that come from, dude? Like, no, there weren't any. I don't know. I mean, I do feel like that was probably a conversation they should have had at some point before bedtime on the first night. But
Yeah, what
come on,
about
David.
us living together made you think? Like, I understand as I'm asking it, but still, what about us living together made you think we're going to do more? You know what I have said, that I wanted to wait
Right.
until marriage. And yes, we were possibly going to do a prom night, but have you bothered to ask why I got drunk that night? Have you bothered to like check in with me since then? No, you want to mope around and pretend that this is the worst thing that has happened to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, in David's defense, he did
No.
need to go out and buy a lot of stereo equipment, and that takes time.
But this is the same kid who was like, I can't afford any of these apartments.
Yeah, he can now. He's got two roommates. Um,
Come on, knock on our door.
we'll be waiting for you.
You.
You know the thing about that show that like I watched Three's Company when I was growing up. I thought it was funny. You know, it's mostly Mr. Furley coming in and being shocked about things, but I didn't pick up at all because I was a little kid. The the whole plot of the show, which is that Jack has to pretend to be gay in order to live with these two women because scandal. Like I had no idea that that was what was going on in that show at the time. Um, so I just these guys are just like guying all over the place in this episode, and even when the women are like, "Can you stop? Can you not do that?" Like, I don't like it. All of that's unpleasant to me. They're just like, "Whatever. Let's race to the beach. Take my shirt off."
Yeah.
All right, you
Well,
know.
and that leads well into what else I think this episode is
Hmm.
about, which is old habits die screaming. And I have a
Mm.
list. Because
Tell
you've
me.
got you've got Dylan pouting and flirting as usual, Kelly
Mm-hmm.
shopping to cope, or
Mm-hmm.
because that's what they think she does only.
Yeah.
Um, Steve and Brandon competing. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, that's never going to end. Again, I
No.
think, you know what? Maybe if they just took out their sexual frustration on each other, because it seems
Oh.
like maybe they really want to be together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like putting that out there now. I don't actually think that they're not gay, but wouldn't it be not hilarious? Wouldn't it be great if that was how this was going to go? If they were just like, man, the reason we competed all the time and really liked getting in each other's face, I've loved you this whole time.
That's right.
I live in a sexually repressive society and I couldn't figure it out. I don't know.
And you know what I got to say to that, Brandon? Don't knock it till you tried it.
Edict.
Anal
um,
sex edict on the show.
Another thing. Well, we talked about David being sexually frustrated again, and then the last thing that on the old habits die screaming. This show once again is like, you know, people really loved Brenda and Dylan. Let's give them
Mm-hmm.
the briefest hint that they're going to reunite. Let, even though they were grasping at straws, Brenda doesn't know Dylan called. For all we know, Brenda doesn't care that Dylan and Kelly might be broken up.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, yes, Dylan called Brenda, but they're friends, they're exes, whatever. He could have called for any reason. There's just the stuff that is being said around them and being set up. I'm like, this shit again. Stop trying to make them come back together. It's not. It's not. I don't believe it. I know they're going to keep dropping hints like maybe will they, won't they, but it's not.
I was wondering how you felt about that because obviously I
Annoyed.
know what's going to happen. Um, but it does feel like they are the breadcrumbs that they're dropping about Brenda and Dylan and Kelly and the triangle. Um, they seem like I guess we'll just say that.
It's so
You know,
lazy.
it is,
Like
and
you
I don't. They
can't
don't seem
possibly
interested in it.
like you can't possibly come up with something else for Brenda and Kelly to compete about, or like why do they need to compete at all?
Right.
Can't can't women just be friends?
Mm-hmm.
No, of
Yeah.
course not. It's the 90s, and we still want to pit you all against each other because if you all work together, then you're going to take over. And it's so terrifying being a man.
I know it's very scary.
So yeah, I found it annoying, and I felt like they were grasping at like, well, this worked once before.
Yeah. Like I what I didn't like, I think, is the whole like Donna pulling David into the kitchen and being like, "I just told Brenda that they broke up." Show us that. Like don't give us that. Like show us that. If you want us to think that this is really part of why Brenda is coming home, give her and Donna a conversation on the phone where Donna is catching her up on everything. We're not afraid of dropping plot exposition. I mean, Felice just unloads on David. Like all of her thoughts and feelings about moving to Houston for what I don't know why she thinks David gives a shit or why we give a shit. It's fucking
Yeah,
Felice. She sucks. Go to Houston. I don't fucking care. Hold on, I
it's
have to sneeze.
too liberal for her.
But like they could have had an exposition phone call and that could have been like we know that Brenda is struggling and we know that like everything that's happening in Minnesota is pushing her a little further towards going back to Los Angeles. Um, if you wanted that to be a factor, you got to give it to us before Brenda makes the decision. Like
Exactly.
she calls the beach house, and instead of getting the answering machine, maybe she gets Donna, and she and Donna chat for 35 seconds, and oh, you won't believe what's happening. You know, Brandon's got this rape victim up at the beach that he's trying to rehabilitate or
No.
whatever, and Steve's playing a lot of tennis. My mom doesn't know David's moving in, and oh, by the way, Kelly and Dylan broke up when they were in Europe this summer. Gotta go. Felice is back. We have to go buy pillows or something. Like, and then Brenda's like, now she has even more reason to want to go home if that's what you want to do. Which again, I don't think they should do. I'm kind of over it. But
Because didn't Brenda just say last season near the end, like, Mom, this is the 90s. I'm not about to choose a college because of a guy.
mhm, yeah, yeah. But like, if she's having second thoughts, which she is, um, and you want us to think that this is a reason, one of the reasons she's having second thoughts, give it to us when she's deciding. Don't give it to us as this, I don't even believe it, throwaway at the end of the episode.
I don't either. It felt like a very bad Shakespeare play.
Yeah,
Like, oh, by the way, there's this thing. I hope this doesn't happen.
right. How
Gadzooks.
come how come everyone in this play looks identical to everyone else?
Oh, good. You knew the play I was thinking is bad. I hate comedy of errors.
There's a few plays where it feels like that's a thing.
Like
Yeah.
twins are that common.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, give them a mustache, you can tell them apart. Which that one's the evil one. So, um or make one
House
of them a
bad for
boy.
mustaches.
I know. Um Another thing I think this episode might really have been about, and it ties into this Brenda thing, is home is where the is. Like everyone in this episode is like wants to go home. You know,
Mm,
whatever that home looks like. Jill wants to go back to New York. You know, she misses it. This was a good break, but she wants to go home.
yeah.
That's where her life is. That's where her last year of college is. Um, that's where this bad thing happened. but it's not the only thing that's ever happened to her there, and she wants to go home.
Yeah.
Brenda, home is not this. It's not Minnesota anymore. She thought going home might be, I don't know, a fresh start, a way to, you know, be a new version of her. I don't know, whatever she was trying to discover, whatever she was trying to prove to herself, that she proved by staying there for a week and a half. Good job, me, says Brenda. But she decides that home is there. She wants to go back to there. Kelly and Donna and David have found this new home. You know, like they've been trying to get settled, and they're still trying to get settled, but they have found this new home.
Yeah.
And it's where they all are at the end of the episode. Everyone comes in, brings the pizza. You know, like that was something that could have happened at the Peach Pit, you know, in high school. But now they're in college and they've got this apartment, and now this is where our gathering is going to take place.
Yeah.
And then Jim and Cindy woke up this morning feeling so polite. They always thought a fish could not be caught that didn't bite, but they had some beta waiting, and they thought they might try nibbling some afternoon delight. In Brenda's room.
Rockets in the night. Afternoon delight.
I love it.
I do too.
Yeah, they were getting some on Brenda's bed, and I'm no notes. Do it. Get to
No,
it, Jim and
not
Cindy.
on your kid's bed. Stop.
It's their house. You know what? It's Jim and Cindy's house. They bought that bed. Do whatever you want. Brenda's not even living there anymore. She's not coming home. Plenty of time to Febreze the shit out of this room.
Oh my God.
I mean, you can get that Jim Musk right out of the air. Light some candles. God. Yeah. Look, if you don't think,
Mr. Pony.
Yeah, turn around. If you don't think that Jim is a sweaty lover, then I don't know what to tell you.
Just because he's hairy?
No, because he's fucking. Are you not feeling it just coming off of him?
No, I agree. I just want to be clear. Let's not assume men are sweaty lovers.
I'm just saying, when those suspenders come down, it's on, and Jim is already sweating. Like there's a sheen that like the lights are gonna catch. There's Jim is an oily bum.
No, Jim, I'll get on top.
That's right. Because otherwise,
drip,
slipping and sliding. Jim gets on, shoots right off. Hold on, I'm coming back.
This is fantastic.
I know. This is our Jim and Cindy Walsh afternoon loving fanfic.
You want to be my assistant next time I choreograph intimacy?
Do that, kids.
You can be the person to demonstrate, even though that's not really a thing.
Yeah, I'll show you how to do it wrong. You know what? What's funny is there was actually, I told you about the Hansel and Gretel video that I did senior year of high school.
Yeah,
where we made it incestuous and it was the whole thing. I had to demonstrate how he should position himself over her. To like, because he was so rigid and stiff, and it was just very. I was like, no, you look really uncomfortable, dude. It should be a little softer in your shoulders, because he was like.
Oh my God, Jeff! I'm so proud of you.
It was very funny. I was like, well, it looked funny. It looked weird. And then we ended up putting her on top because it was just funnier that way. But I think we did both of the things, to be honest with you. But
Gretel should have been pegging Hansel with a candy cane.
Oh, there you go. Oh, we didn't know that was a thing that existed in 1993.
I know.
Not in Southern Indiana.
I didn't know it existed until a few years ago, so.
No, there you go. And now I know all too well. Anywho, but yeah, Jim and Cindy they're wondering what life is like in this house without their kids, which is like a real thing. Trying to figure out, hey, this was our life up until now. What's it going to be now? What are we going to do? Is it going to be this? Do I like this? And Jim's like, oh, you like this? Yes, you do.
Kind of how like the idea of home is always evolving.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a friend yesterday heard me say that, like, oh, I'm pretty much always homesick. And they went, oh, really? And I was like, well, I'm also homesick for a different time. Like,
Sure.
home is so different than the home I'm homesick for a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to be aware of.
Hmm. Yeah, because you're not actually missing a place. You're missing a feeling.
Yeah.
You know. Um, and that's what Brenda. They're all searching for that like home feeling. Um, and this is all new beginning stuff. Season 4. So.
As someone who has moved a lot,
Mhm.
I kind of get where Brenda's coming from. And, like, should she have left Minnesota? Not that soon, and not for just
Yeah.
that. But, like, listen, who am I to judge? Again, I have moved for many shorter stints, and or not given something a chance. Again, you have to live and learn.
Yeah. I uh, I don't want to should Brenda to death. Um, but I do think that the beginning of going away to college, your first time away from home, um, can be really hard.
Hmm.
It was very hard for me. There were a lot of extenuating circumstances. It was really hard. Um, Never once did I think I'm just going to go home.
Yeah.
And that's not a proud of me moment. I don't, whatever. That was, but it didn't occur to me that wasn't what I was going to do. Um, but I do think that you need to give it a chance. And I don't think 2 weeks moping in your room is giving it a chance. You know?
Maybe one last thing this episode is that there are more options in life than you recognize,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not stuck. You're
Mm-hmm.
not stuck. Everyone is we're all trapped in the cages we make. Um, but, like, if you just I feel like I need to be saying this to myself right now, but, like, if you give yourself some time or talk with people you're close to, like, there are options. You just have to be
Sure.
willing to look for them. And, like, Brenda had other options. She could have switched dorms.
Uh-huh.
It kind of sounds
Yeah.
like she needs to be one of those people who doesn't have a roommate.
I mean, look, living in an 8x10 with somebody is that you just, even if you have known them from high school, it is a small space to share with another human being. Um, and it is not always awesome,
Yeah.
you know. So I had two roommate experiences in college, vastly different people, neither of them like great people to live with.
Yeah.
Um, Neither of them people I talk to today. Like I just, one of them I actively just, oh, I don't like that dude. He was a lot. And the
Right.
other guy is just he's just a guy. Like, we just don't have much in common. He was an accounting major who really liked Queensryche, like really liked Queensryche. Um,
Okay.
yeah, Silent Lucidity, you guys, on repeat for about 6 months. Um, it was a
You
lot.
know, I don't want Donna and David to break up. It's going to happen at some point. But, like, clearly he needs to just get laid. And that
Mm.
means ending it with Donna. Like, I'm sure that sounds harsh, but if you're not having the relationship that you want, then you should leave it. You're not doing her any favors by becoming
No.
more mopey because she's not giving you something you feel entitled to. And Donna
Mm-hmm.
should probably be with someone who's more understanding of that and not going to make her feel bad about it.
Yeah. I do think that um I think Donna's going to find that to be a challenge. Like
Yeah, I
unless and
did.
yeah, I mean unless she's like I'm getting involved in like the Campus Crusaders group or whatever. Like the super religious group where everyone is taking a virginity pledge or something. I don't think she's going to find a lot of rando guys at college who are like, I also don't want to have any sex.
You know what? And like, this is the anti-nostalgia corner. I don't miss being in that position because I was not a super religious person, but it seemed that the only people who were going to respect my choices were the religious people, but they also made me uncomfortable with even wanting to like date or make out. And I'm like, so I either have to be a prude or a whore? Like, and again, these are not words I'm ascribing to people. These are the words that are put out there in the zeitgeist. You know,
Yeah.
this is what you're. So yeah, you end up not dating a lot.
You know, you just reminded me of this girl that I knew at IU who, like, I was sort of talking to, like, at the beginning of maybe whatever year that was. Um, and she was super cute. Like, I was very just attracted to her. And so we were talking and just kind of getting to know each other or whatever. And then one day she was wearing a t-shirt, and this t-shirt is the reddest of flags. It said, so hard to even say this t-shirt out loud. It said, it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a Jesus thing. And I went, I think I'm out. I, I think I'm out. I think I'm out on this
Yeah,
t-shirt.
I would have been too. Yeah, like
It's like, whoa, we don't want the same things. Whatever else is going on, I'm out on this t-shirt. And at least part of that t-shirt said to me, you are not getting any if you stay here. Like, this is, if that's what you're seeking, seek it elsewhere.
yeah,
And so I sought it elsewhere. But it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a Jesus thing.
that's
Um,
such a weird shirt.
it's a very weird shirt, and one we won't be putting in the merch shop.
No,
Although we can open up a whole new door. You know,
no, I'm okay with not opening that door. Um,
everyone's welcome to buy things from us.
this shirt is not my green room. Yeah, and
No shit.
not that I need to make it clear, the whole choosing to be a virgin thing was not so much part of my lore as it is Donna's.
Uh huh.
I feel
It's
like
no,
I'm
it's
probably
not a part. It's not as part of anyone's lore as much as it is Donna's. But go
like
ahead.
I think I'm more on the line. I'm more again, I'm more Andrea in this situation of like, you know, offering myself to people on carousels and then saying, you know what, it's better if we just stay friends.
That's right. Yeah. Would you like what if I bought you the carousel? Good.
Yeah.
How about that? I,
And now I'm
um.
realizing like maybe I need to write more characters like that because I think we just need to be aware that there is a middle ground and it's dicey and complicated like life.
Yep.
Like let's stop thinking that it's the horror wait, the Jezebel or the Madonna. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway,
There you go.
it's all stupid.
It is stupid. Um. Is there anything else that this episode might really have been about?
No, we gutted it.
We did. All right. So, what did this make you nostalgic for?
um a few things. Tennis lessons in the summer for one thing. Um but then I think the thing that really kind of took me back was when Darla had rollers in her hair
Oh,
all senior year, maybe even before that. You know, I was spoiled. My mom did my hair for me. Would straighten it, would hot roll it, and the whole year leading up to college was like, "What are you gonna do when you go to college?" And I would just be like, "I'll figure it out then." And first week of school, auditions, and luckily nowadays you can be like more natural in your appearance and everything, but back then, oh, hot rollers, big fluffy hair, looking like a princess. So yeah, when Darla had some rollers in and then took them out and was brushing her curls, I went, "Hey, I remember her."
nice. Um, for me, it's 1 a.m. pizza.
Nice.
Like and I don't think I've noticed it in watching this episode before because, like, to be honest, in this episode, in my memory, is just the Jill got raped episode.
What a
Like,
shame.
I know that's the thing that sticks out. And no, this is the thing I remember Jill for, um, except for the fact that she's in Buffy, and I love Miss Calendar.
So we're never going to
So
see Jill again because she would be so good for Brandon.
yeah, no, Brandon moves on. They're
Fuck.
college. He's going to college, and there are other girls there. So um, now Brandon has a lot of suspect choices to make in the years ahead. So we got Jill has to go back to New York so he can do that.
Well, and I know
Uh,
Emily Valentine comes back, so
oh, you do. That's right, because you've seen her with different hair. Um, also, suspect choices.
yeah.
Um, ooh. But the end of this episode where everyone just shows up with pizza at 1 a.m. and they're all just going to hang out, I'm like, that's the most accurate college thing I've seen on this show to date. And granted, we're only 2 episodes into college. And
But
there
yeah.
was a lot about the Darla putting stuff on the door hanger thing that rings true. But the 1 a.m. pizza,
The only thing they were
100%.
missing were a big bag of breadsticks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, did you do Mad Mushroom when you were
Too
at
late
IU?
in the
Or were you like a
game. I was like, damn, this shit's good. I mostly did Mother
oh,
Bears or Pizza X
okay.
breadsticks.
Okay. We were I mean we got every place, but living in Reed, we were right across the street from Mother Bears, so we would run across there and grab stuff, which was really nice.
Yeah.
But Mad Mushroom cheese sticks with the ranch sauce to dip them in. Oh.
Oh God.
they're they're not there anymore. There's no Mad Mushroom in Bloomington. I think there's one in Lafayette. Which
Mm.
makes me sad because we were there for the football game last fall, and we were like, what if we just ordered some cheese sticks right now at 10 o'clock at night? Because that's like the 40-year-old version of
Yeah,
1
but I
a.m.
hope you have
is 10 p.m.
Tums.
We didn't end up ordering because Mad Mushroom wasn't open. Um, like it was like we could, but also I'm just gonna go to bed. See you guys in the morning. That's how it rolls now. So, and I'm real good with it. But yeah, that 1 a.m. pizza drop in was the move all through college, and I feel good about it.
Nice.
Um, who is your Steve Sanders Memorial worst person of the episode?
It's Darla and the other
Uh huh.
classmates. Like they really changed on Brenda. She's granted, we discussed that she came in a little tough with her boundaries. Respect the boundaries, but like there's an easing into it. Like you don't have to be, you know,
Yep.
again, super harsh about it, but I get where she was coming from. And these women turned on her and were suddenly like, "Oh, you think you're better than us because of why don't you put on one of your hot little Beverly Hills numbers?" Or like,
Right.
"Oh, thank God she's asleep." They
I
just they were super catty, and
know. Mm-hmm.
I can totally understand why she left. I wish again that she had looked at her options. But yeah, those girls weren't great. And then Darla just thinking she can put that tassel on the door anytime and
Oh, too much.
usurp the room. Have a
Yeah,
fucking conversation.
I agree. It's Darla. Fuck somewhere else, Darla. Jesus Christ. Um, all right. So I think we did it. All right. So join us here next week, Cheese Meisters. Well, I guess first join us on Friday for whatever it is we decide to watch because we haven't discussed it yet. We don't even know. But it'll be something fucking awesome because that's how we roll around here.
Yeah.
And then next week we will be discussing season 4, episode 3, The Little Fish. So I'm assuming that that's a Little Fish, Big Pond kind of reference.
Ah, not
So
rainbow fish?
I don't think so. I think we're just gonna find ourselves on the campus of good old CU,
Cal
and
Uni?
you'll get to see what Cal Uni is all about. All right, but until then, Cheese Meisters.
Bye.
Bye.